Thank you everyone for choosing the stage for starters. Legend. Beautiful. What I'll be explaining is what is a POAP. So I'm Steve, I work at POAP. I'm also founder of HODL, which is a community brand. And POAP, do you actually want to shoot up a question?
Yeah, so I'm going to ask Steve a few questions and then he's going to shoot back with the answers. And these are like very basic questions that most people have asked me and Steve as well that we're going to try to cover and hopefully educate you guys a bit more. Well, the first one we have is, in the simplest terms, what is a POAP?
Yeah. So POAP stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol. So it's essentially a form of NFT to prove life's remarkable moments or events. So anyone can create a POAP. So I like to give the best way to explain it is through usually use cases. So for today, you can see a few banners around. They have an embedded NFC chip. When you tap the embedded NFC chip, you get a POAP. And that's blockchain evidence of you being here today. So there's no way for you to, like essentially right now, you can take a photo, you can Photoshop all your friends in it and they can pretend to be there. But this way it's proven the blockchain of what you've done. It's essentially a Web 2 awards room, but in Web 3. It's acting similar to a passport. So you can look back on kind of your passport and see all your moments, the places you've been, maybe the certain Twitter spaces you've been in, if they're giving out POAPs then. So it's just proving you're attending and also the celebration. So it can be for birthdays, if you've got a group of friends that you want to reflect on the memory on years to come. You have a little bit of artwork and you have the title, a body, kind of explaining the memory, and it's just kind of like reminiscing on old times. And yeah, that's a very broad view. There's a cool ethos to how POAP became POAP. There is much better curated directions to explain that, so I'll kind of focus mainly on business use cases and how it can all be done through businesses.
Awesome. And what are some use cases of POAP?
Good point. So, like I said today, IRL events, Twitter spaces, and it does expand a fair bit when because it says proof of attendance protocol, people get in the mindset of attendance, so it has to be an event, like I said, it can be a memory, but also it can go into things like proof of purchase. So blockchain evidence of you purchasing a product, it can be in the form of a POAP. And then it then goes into the realm of waiting for technology to build up to POAP. So say, this could be another use case in the future, say Spotify wanted to issue you a POAP for listening to a song first. So that would be blockchain evidence of you maybe supporting an artist before they popped off, and you'd have a digital memento. And that would be, instead of you maybe sending a screenshot of like maybe the artist having one view and say, hey, I was the first one, like okay, that's cool, you could have photoshopped that, but this way, if Spotify issued the POAP for the first 100 listeners, then that's kind of blockchain record. And what you can do with that, because they claim it on the blockchain, you get the ETH addresses. So that's essentially what the email address is now. So that is an address in the future that you can track to someone. You can reward people, you can airdrop them. So say Post Malone, 2016 released a song, no one knew him, you got this POAP for him, and he said, hey, those first 100 listeners, I would like to reward you. I want to send you an NFT that will give you backstage pass for the rest of your life into all the events. So it's just a cool way, just through that. Like honestly, the use cases will catch up when technology catch up, with integrations catch up. But yeah, it's one little kind of avenue to take it down.
And have you seen people use POAP to onboard Web 2 to Web 3 in real life collectors?
Yeah, so again, I want to do use cases because that's easily digestible. A scenario I use for, say we're all here today, or at a music festival, maybe a POAP pops up on the screen, and it's a big QR code, everyone gets out their phone, claims a QR code, claims a POAP. Then everyone gets the digital memento, but to onboard it to Web3, it's not like you're trying to force them to do something or say, hey, come this way, Web3, it's awesome. What you can do is integrate platforms. So because you claim the POAP, you can talk to other POAP holders. So you can say, hey, there's actually a new integration. You can talk to other people that claim this POAP. So if you're in the mosh pit, you know, everyone's claiming a POAP, and you talk to people, then you lose them, and you can go home, you can log in, and you can talk to people with the same POAP. So it's just like adding that extra connection you can have with people, and not trying to convince people, but just showing there's a cooler way to it all, and you know, more engagement for people and customers and community.
And how are you educating on POAP, and where do people go to learn more?
Yeah, man. So, like I said, the HODL labs are started. So I'm working in curation at POAP. So they're the people that accept or reject petitions that come in. So POAP is a curated ecosystem where not all POAPs get accepted. As long as only if it meets the ecosystem, then we approve it. And through that, I saw a lot of petitions, a lot of POAPs coming through. And I just thought there's a better way to educate people on how to create a POAP, how to distribute a POAP, and like good use cases. So HODL Lab started off with video tutorials on how to do all that, so how-to guides. And then it went into IRL activations, so us creating these banners, helping out meetup groups, and launching new products. But yeah, it's just a community that wants to learn more about POAP and how it kind of can transform their community or business. And recently, like I said, those banners, but also like embedded NFC merch with proof of purchase, POAPs and all that kind of thing. So anything POAP, HODL Labs has it.
Yeah, that's all the questions I had. I don't know, probably answered some few questions from the crowd as well.
Yeah, absolutely. If anyone got any questions on what is a POAP?
How much does it cost to mint?
That's a great question. So it's free. Free to mint, it's on the side chain, so on Gnosis chain. There obviously is a cost in that. I don't know the exact amount. I think it's 0.1 of a cent. That's the Gnosis chain, and you can migrate it to the mainnet to make it more, I'd say not more legit, but on the mainnet. There's a cost in that. So anyone can create a POAP, anyone can distribute a POAP, all for free, no dramas at all.
So what are the benefits of creating, if you're a business, I think most people who get a business are interested in NFTs, what would you recommend, why go POAP and why not NFT?
Yeah, well, POAP is only very specific to digital mementos on remarkable moments. So there's definitely other options. There's other chains that you can just do if you just want a digital certificate or something, a proof of membership, or something that you want to distribute to 1 million of these. It's definitely, there's better options for non-remarkable, non-unique moments like that. But POAP wants to kind of keep a high-tier brand on, we want to celebrate the world's remarkable moments, and everything that's kind of quite generic, or say like maybe like in-game achievements, where there'd be 1 billion users doing 1 billion in-game achievements, or with NFTs, that's more for someone else, and then we stick on the unique, specific and memorable moments. But good question. Yeah. Cool. More questions?
Yeah, so when you mint, you just tap your phone and you have to connect with your MetaMask, or
yeah, man. So there's a few ways to mint it. So a QR code, like I mentioned, or that NFC chip.
Yeah.
And there's also a secret word. So I could announce essentially a secret word now. If you had the POAP app, you could put that in there, little password. And that's a good thing, and why it is also used for a lot of big companies to onboard people. Because you don't need a wallet, you don't need all these things. You can literally walk in a room, what's an NFT? Is that even an NFT? I can just put in my email to reserve it, and then later on, 5 years time, 1 year's time, when you do get a wallet, then you can claim it into your wallet.
Yeah, right. So, or you can have the app already, or you're on.
Yeah, exactly. If you have the app, you can hook up your
address.
Ethereum address, and then you're good to go, and mint it straight on.
Yeah.
I was going to ask another one actually. Do you see POAPs replacing things like, obviously this as well, like when we go into festivals, a lot of people collect their mementos when you go to music festivals. They put it in like a box so they can go back in time and see like, hey, this is cool, I met you here, this is 2015 Coachella, this is this. Do you see it completely replacing that, or do you see it being another experience on top of that, where they'll still have this as like a way to get into festivals, but there's another thing to add on top of that?
Yeah, definitely, man. I think there is already physical bands with embedded NFC chips that also have the POAP. So everyone still loves to, we're not going to eliminate physical collection of items. We can add on top of that and more robust way to collect things, trade things, and make it more legit for sure. But yeah, adding on top of the experience is really where it's at, and not taking away anything. It's just a new way to collect and a better way to collect, in my opinion.
Yeah. One more quickly as well, actually. Do you see it being integrated? Because like Instagram, all of us consume social media. It's becoming like a social flex now. You have like a Lamborghini, you're on a private jet, and I can see this like overflowing into the digital world where if you own a Bored Ape, you've got Instagram showcasing NFTs now, where people will be following people because they own a Bored Ape or they own a very rare NFT. Do you think that'll happen as well with POAPs, where you'll have the experience and you can see this person's been to Coachella 10 times in a row, and it's just this Coachella legend. People kind of follow them. Do you see that happening as well?
Yeah, 100%. Great question. It's going to act as the new resume. It's going to be, if you apply for a job, hey, I've seen you're in this space, you've done this sort of course, you've been in this university degree, all that kind of thing. Definitely used as a resume, and also a social flex if you'd like. You can, to the stage of putting your PFP as your POAP, or maybe you're the founder of Google, and there was a small meeting back in 2000 or whatever, and there's 5 people that minted it, because you can actually click on the POAP, see who else has minted it, go through their collection. Yeah, for sure, man. There will definitely be a social flex to it all.
You mentioned connecting with people after the experience
Yep.
that share the same time. Can you talk a bit more about that? Like, what's the vehicle that allows people to come together?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the platforms you talk about integrating with, are they
Yep.
social platforms or?
Yeah, there's a bunch of platforms. So Decentraland, Discord, Twitch. Nifty Chat is one that they integrated with us to talk to other people with POAPs. Man, there's so many. It's like I said, like waiting for that technology to build up. But essentially, that Nifty Chat, you claim a POAP, you can connect your wallet, and then you can start talking. This is a big chat room with people with the same POAP. You can start talking away, and it's also a great way to verify and talk to your audience directly. And you're only connecting to those certain people. And a great way, and that's also leads into why we curate the system, why we are so strict on distributing POAPs, because that authentic memory so when you look back in 5 years' time, you want to make sure you're connecting with the right people that actually went to that event. And that's why we're so strict on only those that attend the event get the POAP, because that chews into the memorabilia of that POAP. And that's why there is other protocols that do proof of attendance, but our curation is kind of why POAP is POAP and why it has the higher brand value. Right. Yeah. Cool, man.
I think that's it, boys. Thanks very much.